What is up, everyone? It's your boy Mike from Balls of Fury. Welcome back to the channel. When it comes to ball pythons, there is so many different mutations and genes to choose from. And if you're new to ball pythons, it can be pretty overwhelming. But today, I'm here to give you guys some advice when it comes to choosing ball python genes that you want to work with. It is absolutely crazy how many different ball python mutations there are. My first recommendation to you guys would be to choose a base morph that you really love. In our case here at Balls of Fury, myself and my partner Darius decided that our favorite mutation was the lavender albino, and we really wanted to base most of our projects around that base morph. So figure out which base morph, whether it's a recessive, a allelic combination, or a codominant combination. Figure out what that base morph is that you really want to work with. And once you decide upon that, it's time to dive in and start doing some research about that gene and how other genes will interact with it when you start making combinations. Now, let's say that you've chosen the pied gene as the base morph that you want to build your ball python breeding project around. When it comes to pied, it is an awesome gene. As you guys can see, it basically causes all this random amount of white blotching throughout the snake, and it really messes with the pattern of the animal as well. Now, once you figure out that pied is that gene for you and that you really want to work with this mutation, what I recommend doing is go out there and look at as many different pied mutations as you can. Look at all different types of pied combos. I know from experience that myself and Darius have spent countless hours looking at all different types of ball python combos. And basically what this will do is it will help you to decide what genes you really want to add into that project to make some absolutely beautiful animals. Now, let's take a look at some beautiful pied combinations and actually show you guys how different genes can influence the color of the mutation and the amount of white on this mutation. So you guys have been out there looking at pied combinations, and you decided that you really like the high white pieds. Let's take a look at something like a cinnamon pied, which is an extremely high white pied mutation. As you guys can see, this boy barely has any pattern. He's pretty much all white. He just has the head pattern and the tail pattern. Now, when it comes to cinnamon, it is also a darkening gene, so the coloration of the snake is going to be a little bit darker as well. And if you like the high white stuff, I would maybe invest into a cinnamon pied or a black pastel pied. And this is where that research is really going to help you. Once you look at some combinations and you determine what genes actually will make the pied high white, you can go out and invest your money into those things. Now, personally, I like my pieds with some pattern. I think it really adds a lot of contrast to the snake. And I like to see those nice vivid colors that come through when you have some pattern on your pied. So let's go in the opposite direction and look at a snake that is a pied but is covered in pattern. I'll be back in a sec. I gotta hit the bottom rack here, so give me 1 second, you guys. Alrighty, so now we're gonna take a look at a pied combination that is just covered in pattern. Now, the Enchi gene is a really good choice if you want to get a pied that is very low white. As you guys can see, this girl is super low white, really just by the base of her tail and along the sides is where you can see that white. But look at how amazing the Enchi makes the color. Now, this girl also has some other brightening genes in her as well. She has pastel, yellow belly, and orange dream. So there is a lot of enhancing genes in this combination that are really brightening the colors. But if you guys want to go in the opposite direction and go for some low white pieds, Enchi is an amazing gene. And I definitely recommend looking at so many pied combos that you get sick of it, because Doing that is really going to help you determine what genes you want to put into that project. And I know for sure that I love the Enchi pied. I'm a fan of about mid-white pieds because I do like the white too. But man, all that pattern is absolutely awesome. And this girl is just saturated in color. So really, really pay attention to the genes that you want to incorporate into your project. It'll make all the difference when you go out and you invest into those snakes. When it comes to breeding ball pythons, it's all about creating the coolest paint jobs you can. And even sometimes just taking away a gene and adding a different gene can really influence the look and change it completely. For example, we just looked at the pastel Orange Dream Yellow Belly Enchi pied. Let's take a look at something a little bit different, but is really similar to it, but it completely changes the look of the snake. Now, what we are looking at here is a Orange Dream Enchi Yellow Belly Asphalt pied. Now, what we did is we took away the pastel gene and we added in the asphalt gene, and it completely changed the appearance of the snake. It changed the pattern, the color, and it's all about making those really, really cool paint jobs. So don't be afraid to be creative with your pairings and think outside of the box. When Darius and myself are deciding what genes we want to incorporate into a project, we try to think outside of the box, we try to get creative, and we don't always follow the trends. Sometimes we really want to get our hands on stuff that not a lot of people have. And for example, this guy is awesome. He is a blackhead red gene dreamsicle. And what's really cool about him, and which was a deciding factor to actually get this guy, was the red gene. It's a relatively uncommon gene that I don't see worked a lot in projects, and I really love what it does, man. It really is a color enhancing gene, and as you can see, man, just look at how awesome the color is on our boy Takeoff. That red gene is just brightening this thing as it gets older. And the plan is to incorporate that red gene into stuff that hasn't been done yet. That way we can create some different looks and we can really get an idea of how that red gene is going to interact with other mutations. So when you're adding ball pythons to your collection and you're building that breeding project, don't always follow the trends. Do what you want to do what you like, and pay attention to how those genes are affecting the combination, and it will make all the difference in the world for you. So that's all I have for you in today's episode. I hope that helps you kind of figure out what genes you want to incorporate into your ball python projects. I know it can definitely be overwhelming, and there are so many different genes that I want to work with, so I'm sure it's really difficult for you to single down the genes that you want to work into those projects that you have. But those tips have really helped myself and Darius figure out what we want to incorporate into our projects. I want to give a big shout out to the Recessive Gang, Darius, AJ, and Dre. Keep doing your thing, you guys. I also want you guys to please do me a favor. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, smash that notification bell so you know when we're dropping a video. Also, drop a comment down below. Let me know what goes into your thought process when you're choosing the genes you want to incorporate into your ball python projects. And also, guys, do me a favor, drop a comment down below, tag Apple, and let them know that in the next phone they make, they need to improve the camera for us snake keepers, because these cameras, they don't do a good enough job capturing the absolutely beautiful colors that these snakes are displaying. But until next time, I hope everyone has a great day. I will talk with you guys very soon. Peace.